All right, folks, very warm welcome to the LitmusChaos community call. This is the first one we are doing after February, and we'll be continuing this 30 minutes call on every third Wednesday of the month. We have a packed agenda today, so without any further ado, I'd like to quickly jump to the agenda in hand. So first of all, we'll be talking about Chaos Con. So I'll just quickly share my screen. So if you can see my screen, we have updated the LitmusChaos website with the details on the LitmusChaos Con. It's on the September 12th. So we are a few months away, of course, from the conference, but this conference will cover everything about LitmusChaos in terms of user stories, in terms of contributor stories, in terms of use cases, demos, workshops. So there's a lot more that we'll be talking about LitmusChaos, and the graduation application is out. So I think we'll have some updates in terms of our graduation journey as well at LitmusChaos Con. So if you want to submit a talk, let's say you have a story to submit, you can submit a proposal that will take you to sessionize/LitmusChaosCon. And we can discuss this in the community as well if you want to submit the talk. And then next up, if you want to register, you can just click the register now button and you can go ahead and register now. It's a free conference. It's a virtual conference. It's a 1-day conference for around 3 to 4 hours. So it'll be great to have you participate in the conference and just submit a talk or be an attendee and listen to all the talks on Litmus, and that will perhaps help your contributor as well as user journey as well. So that's the short intro to LitmusChaosCon, and feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or something around LitmusChaosCon. Would love to see you participate in the conference, which is in the end supported by the CNCF. Next up, we have with us Smith. Smith is one of the users of LitmusChaos, and he'll be giving a quick intro to their user journey. But I see a lot of new users joining us. I see there's Balik Shan, John, Dario, Gokul, and a lot of folks who have joined in for the first time for the community call. So I would just request them to introduce themselves on chat so that people around here in the community can know each other. You can just talk about who you are or where you are from. That will be enough. But yeah, without any further ado, Smith, you can take the floor.
Thanks, Prithvi. Hi, I'm Smith, and I work at Delivery Hero. And we adopted Litmus, I think, around a year ago, when it was in 2.x. We were basically looking to reduce amount of incidents that were happening because of fallbacks missing, poor context timeouts. We did some analysis over last 3 years that we had incidents because of these kind of issues worth of, I think, 1.5 million euros. And it was time that we need to be proactive tackling these issues, and that's where Litmus came in, and we started using it. And now we are on a journey to also consolidate the chaos engineering tooling across the company. So right now there is like a lot of different verticals within our company. They use different tools such as Toxiproxy. Some of them use Gremlin, and some of them use the older version of Litmus. So we are now set on a journey to offer a global developer platform. As part of the global developer platform, to offer Litmus as a chaos platform and sort of try to integrate this in the developer lifecycle. So at some point, we want to get to a point where we could also automatically generate chaos experiments based on the application metadata we have, since we have standardized the definition of apps using the open application model. So yeah, this is here we are on this journey, and can say like on an average monthly we run like 150 chaos experiments, and as we onboard more users, driving adoption is one of the challenge, so we are working towards that. But once we have more users, we aim to see more experiments, and then hopefully also have this in part of the application lifecycle, like integrated with CI/CD once we have more stability, or post rollout during blue-green deployments. And if you want to talk about more details, I'm happy I'll be on the call for another 20 minutes. So feel free to write me on chat and can take your questions.
Thank you so much, Smith, for giving us an overview of your user story, and hopefully in the upcoming calls or in the in our Slack channel as well, we'll be seeing more stories and contributions and inputs from you. But if anyone has any questions for Smith, feel free to post them in chat. Next up, we have with us Saranya, one of the maintainers of the project. She'll be sharing the latest updates with Litmus. We are at 3.7 now, but we've had some releases which is not covered in our community calls. So Saranya, the floor is all yours.
Yeah, thank you, Prithvi. Hi everyone, this is Saranya, and I'm one of the maintainers of LitmusChaos. So today I'm going to start with a very quick demo of the platform, as some of you folks have joined in for the first time. So we'll go through a very quick demo, and then I'll be sharing some of the high-level updates of the last three releases, whatever enhancements, features, bug fixes that we added. So I'll just share my screen. Okay. So I hope my screen is visible. So yeah, so this is the Chaos Center platform, which is the GUI of the whole Litmus, where you can manage everything starting from the Chaos experimentation to the users, teaming. So everything can be managed from one single platform here. And to install Litmus, you can, like if you're getting started with it, so you can just directly head over to the Litmus docs and getting started section and installation. So installation Litmus can be installed via Helm, or you can use kubectl directly use the kubectl commands to install them. And once that is installed, you can access the Chaos Center. And so yeah, starting with some of the high level resources that we have in Litmus is starting off with the environment. So environment is kind of a wrapper, like it is used to organize the Chaos infrastructures in a better manner. So if you want to create environment, it can be created of type pre-prod and production to manage your infrastructures in a better way. And I have already created. And then once the environment is created, you can go head over to connecting the infrastructures. So infrastructure is basically a target agent, which sits on the target cluster and is used to inject the chaos in the target application. So it can be installed in either cluster type or in the namespace mode. So if it is installed in cluster type, it will have access to the entire cluster. And if it's installed in namespace, it will have the access to one particular namespace. So since I have already installed one in the cluster scope, I won't be having any option to create another cluster scope infra, but yeah, you can create connect one more like multiple namespace scope infra as well. So yeah, that's that. And then coming over to the Chaos hubs. So once you connect Litmus, install Litmus, one default Litmus Chaos hub will be connected. So this is basically a repository where all kinds of predefined experiments and faults are there. And you can either directly go to the hub.litmuschaos.io, where you can find all kinds of faults and experiments categorized as well. The faults are categorized as well. Or you can directly see them here and directly launch the experiments. And then next up, we have the resilience probe. So probes are basically pluggable checks, which are used to validate the steady state hypothesis of the whole experimentation. So currently Litmus supports four kinds of probes, that is HTTP, command, Prometheus, and Kubernetes. So I have connected a demo probe, that is HTTP probe. And if I click here, I can see the execution history. So whatever all the faults that have used this particular probe can be seen here. And so this is like you create it once, and this can be used multiple times. So and probe configuration can also be seen here. And then coming to the chaos experimentation. So I have already created few, but let me take you through the whole creation step. So let's say, first of all, you'll have to give a name to the experiment. And then next step would be selection of the chaos infrastructure. And once you select, it will list all the active infrastructures. Once you select that, we'll just apply. And then next is the addition of the experiment. So you have three options. Either you can choose the blank canvas and select the false from the hub, or you can, if you have like predefined experiments, chaos hubs or like custom created or the default hub, so you can directly select it from here. Or if you have any experiment manifest, you can directly upload. So I'll just go with the blank canvas. And then if I select, let me go to, Kubernetes. So I'll just select pod delete for now. And then next would be selection of the target application. So these are the filters used to pinpoint the target application. So let's say I'll go with a deployment and select the namespace. And then I have actually deployed an Nginx application. So I'll just select the app label, and these are all the filters to find the target. And then these are some of the default tunables, but you can have your you can provide your own custom tunables here. And the next step is the addition of probes, which is the mandatory step. So here all the probes can be, so all the probes will be listed here, and you can add them. There are five modes. Either you can set the probe in the start of test or end of test, edge, continuous, or on chaos. I'll just go with the default one and just apply the changes. And so this is the visual representation of the whole experiment, but you can like go through the YAML of the whole experiment manifest as well and edit them as well. And then next step would be the scheduling part. So either you can have a single run, or you can like select you can have a recurring run as well. You can have a cron experiment as well. So once that is selected, you can just save the experiment, and then you can run it further. But I have already created one experiment. So I'll just if I just run it. So the first step would be the installation of chaos faults. Some validations would be done against the target applications, and then the whole experimentation would be taking place. And then once the experimentation is over, the cleanup step would be going. But I have, let me, so this is one of the pre-created like already run. This one is so here you can get all the resilience core probe details, why it passed, or if it failed, you can get the details here as well. The logs would be available in case the cleanup chaos step is disabled. So next is the fault configuration step, where configuration tab, where you can get all the details. So this is this here actually the solar shows the last 10 experiments. So this is the very quick demo of the whole Litmus experimentation. And then uh, let me share the releases. So we have had like lot of changes in the past 3 releases, but I'll just go through them go through some of the high level details. So first of all would be the integration, some of the enhancements that we added and features. That is, we recently added integrated Litmus with the OSS first, and the community has contributed in addition of lot of fuzzing test suits, and these test suits runs on a daily basis using the cluster fuzz. And next would be fixing of vulnerabilities, and a lot of vulnerabilities came in the, like, some of the some of the packages got deprecated. They had vulnerabilities, so we fixed them as well. And we also integrated the cluster fuzz in the PR pipeline as well. So every time you raise a PR, or the cluster the fuzzing test suits run for some time, and to ensure the quality of the code. And then showing support for display of login with SSO button. So when the DEX is enabled earlier, login with SSO was not visible. Like users would have to go to that particular URL to access the DEX UI. But now the login with SSO button is visible, which can be which is directly accessible on the login page, and user can access the DEX setup. And next is addition of probe button. Let me show you. Yeah, so earlier users could only edit the probe from here, but we have also added the edit option from here to enhance the flow a bit. So we have added users can directly edit the probe from here as well. And next is with the 3.0 release, there were some issues with the GitOps flow, but now all of them are fixed. So GitOps trigger and save, delete, and update experimentation is now fixed. And yeah, so and other than those enhancements, as some of you already know that Litmus is currently undergoing security auditing. So they have we are continuously fixing some of the enhancing the security of the Litmus and fixing some of the issues. Some of them are addition of necessary RBACs for creating and fetching the JWT token, then making the login error messages generic. So earlier, if you log in using invalid credentials or using a deactivated user, so the error messages were different, which could lead to some of the brute force attacks and all. So we have made the login error messages generic to avoid such conditions. And then we have also removed some of the unused packages such as like Axios and others. And CryptoRand, currently we are leveraging CryptoRand function package to generate the access keys. Like earlier, we were using MathRand, which were having some memory leaks issues. So we have changed those packages. And yeah, these were, and other fixes were also adding addition of hidden text fields in the JW token fields in GitOps and all. So these fixes were also done. And other than that, a lot of bug fixes, UI enhancements like addition of loaders, refetch, and pagination. These all fixes have also come in. And some of the ongoing effort by the current LFX mentees is addition of support for multiple owners, and addition of E2E test suits. I guess Dhanush will be giving a demo on the E2E test suits so that we can see it later. So yeah, these were some of the high-level updates of the last three releases. So yeah, I guess Sarthak can give the updates on the Litmus Kit CTL. Thank you, everyone.
Sure, thanks, Sanya. I'll quickly give some updates on Litmus CTL. So, I mean, some active development is going on around Litmus CTL as well. So we have support for probes now in Litmus CTL. And since like probes is a mandatory step for experiment creation, so users can add probes via Litmus CTL as well. And we don't have a support for addition of probes currently because like there are few, like just too many configurables that needs to be given. So we are planning on having some sort of way to allow users to add probes from Litmus CTL as well. And then there's a PR raised to add CSCert in Litmus config so that user won't have to add CSCert in every command via flag. So it can be added globally in Litmus config as well. So that PR is already raised, and we'll take it in the coming release. And again, like we have added some E2E test cases for Litmus CTL as well. So all this, like most of these things were done by Shivam as part of LFX program. And yeah, so like these are the major things that were added in Litmus CTL. And in the end, if we have some time, then maybe Shivam is here so he can give a demo on the same.
Thank you so much, Sarthak, I think, and Saranya for all the updates, latest updates on Litmus and Litmus CTL. let's see if we'll have time for the demo from Shivam, or else we'll do the demo tomorrow in the contributor call itself. But before we move on to the next agenda item, if anyone has any questions, you can feel free to drop your questions in chat. We have a lot of maintainers and core contributors who have joined the community call, so we can have the Q&A going on in the chat itself. Next up, we have Raj. Raj will be discussing the LFX mentorship program that we are going to be doing for this summer. So, Raj, you can take it forward.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Prithvi. Hey, everyone. I'm Raj from Harness. Let me share my screen. So if you go to the Litmus, right, and go to the issue section, and if you select the LFX mentorship, you'll find some issues. So top 3 are the issues we applied for the LFX mentorship. So I'll go one by one. So the first one is the Litmus Helm agent revamp. So basically what Litmus Helm agent is, so currently when we connect a infrastructure, right? So we basically download the YAML file and apply it in the cluster, right? So Litmus Helm is used to basically use the Helm commands to connect a infrastructure. So right now it is a little bit like outdated a few things. So we need to revamp a little bit on the Litmus Helm agent. Then the next thing is the UBM image migrations. Alpine has released like they will not support I think some versions of Alpine, so you can get more details on this ticket. So basically we have to move from Alpine to Reddit UBI images, base images. So these are the images basically. So we basically have to change the Dockerfile base images and all those changes. So this is the first issue, and the second one is the enhancement in the Chaos Center. So we have grouped a few things in this issue. So first thing is like we have GitHub support for GitHub, GitLab, and few other Git providers, but Azure use a different kind of protocol, so that's why we were not able to add the Azure support for Git. So this issue will cover this part also, Azure Git integration. Then if you whenever you run an experiment or create an experiment, you'll see like there's a list, there's a modal coming up for infrastructure. So we want to show the environment also in that infrastructure modal. So it will like grouping all the infrastructure by environment. So this is the another issue. So 2 issues will cover in this ticket. And the last one is like there's a upgrade agent, so which basically upgrades the execution plane, so like subscriber, operator, and all this. So we need the upgrade agent to be installed in the users cluster, so that it will upgrade automatically. So that will have a support of 3.x. So with 3.x we'll have that upgrade agent support. So these are the 3 main tickets, I mean issues we are planning. And feel free to apply from the LFX portal, and we will review and get back the results.
Thank you so much, Raj, on an insight to the LFX mentorship program. I think we'll be discussing more on the program and contributions and applications in tomorrow's contributors call. So in case we have anyone here who's participating, feel free to join the call. We have one last agenda item. I think we'll be discussing a demo by one of the current mentees, Dhanush. So Dhanush, if you're there, you can take it forward with your demo.
Yes, hello everyone. I'm sharing my screen, 1 second. So yes, I've written E2 test cases for Chaos Center and pipeline to run the tests. First, the E2 test cases. This is the E2 test cases. In the left side, you can see that there are 2 parts, REST API and the UI section. Each of these has 5 test cases covering the components of Chaos Center, like user management, Chaos probes, Chaos hubs, etc. And each of these test case, there are four parts, like create, and then negative test case, then edit, and then disable or delete. Like this, for every test case, there are 4 parts, and for running all the E2 test cases, it takes around 6 to 7 minutes. So I've actually made a video and I'll be sharing that in the chat. So yes, yeah, I've shared the links in the chat. So this is the E2 test cases. The video of all the test cases running I've shared in the chat, and now the workflow, the pipeline in which I install the Litmus and run the E2 test cases. So I've actually used Minikube as the cluster and Helm chart for installing Litmus. So this is the pipeline, and yeah, I've started the Minikube, then install Litmus through Helm chart, then waited for the pods to be ready. And after that, I've actually extracted the URL, front-end URL for running the Cypress tests. So I've exported it and exports it as the environment variable. Then I've used it in Cypress tests. And here the Cypress tests are running. So all the information will be available here. And at the end, it shows the test pass or fail all the tests which have been written. So till now, I have E2 test cases. Major components of Chaos Center is finished, and the pipeline is successfully installing Litmus and running the test. There are only few small tasks like adding a README and few minor test cases which should be added. I think I'll add it by this week. So yes.
Right, I think we are just in time. Thank you so much, Dhanush, for sharing those updates on the E2E test cases. I think Dhanush has shared some videos and links in chat. So in case anyone is following, feel free to check them out. With this, we have come to the end of the agenda items we had in hand for today. We'll be discussing some updates by Shivam in tomorrow's contributors call, as well as the LFX mentorship program. I'd still like to open the floor if for any sort of questions we have for today. We can spend a couple of minutes on any questions we have from the community members, and then we can wrap up. So does anyone have any questions? All right, I believe there's none. So I think we can wrap it up here. And thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for the new members who joined in, Dario, Gokul, Vijan. And yeah, thank you so much again, others, for joining in. I hope to see you all for the next community call that we have next month, again, third Wednesday. And appreciate all your support for Litmus Chaos. Thanks. Thanks, everyone.